I do think I'm looking at the supports for Yakutou. If Lion especially has a good game, because I was saying, like, I want to see an initiator, they grab the Lion. You need the Blink before you can really initiate on the Storm Spirit and the Phoenix, right? Hex them before they can use some big spells, cancel the Bane, Fiend's Grip, things like that. Stay in the back so you don't get run down by Lycan. But if you're having a bad game, that Blink's going to come out really late on a slow farmer like Lion. So how the laning stage goes will matter a lot to him. And then so will the Static Storm timing. That is a really powerful tool to have versus the Storm Spirit. The supports as well, you know, Phoenix and Bane don't like dealing with the big AoE silence. So if you lose your Wisdom Shrines, if you have a bad time on laning stage, again, another ultimate that is going to be very delayed on a slow farming support. So that is, you know, that's kind of setting the stage for me. How does these lanes go? If you're just doing fine, like, you don't even have to be winning, you just need to be even so you hit your sixes at a good time, then I think they have the tools they need to get a good tempo going.
I feel like we say that a lot in a lot of these games, right? Like, it seems like the supports that are being picked right now are ones that heavily rely on getting a quicker 6, and it makes life tough. But they are going to fight at this bounty rune, and they will throw that Earth Spike on a Ghost. He might drop for first blood. The raise lands by Emo, and they do, in fact, get Ghost. That's a good start for the side of Yakutou, and they need that over mid, especially to keep this perfect record in the mid SF category.
That is a scary hero to give first blood to, because not only do you enter the mid lane with a couple extra souls so you get better damage, but with that first blood gold, you get your bottle sooner, you get your item sooner, and Shadow Fiend's a mid hero who can really get out of control, because as you get more last hits and denies, you get more damage to get more last hits and denies, and potentially really shut down this mid Storm Spirit, delay that level 6, which I think he's the playmaker for his team. Bane, Fiend's Grip will be useful later, but of course your Storm Spirit's going to hit 6 before that. So if you can get him online, he can start helping out your side lanes, if you're not getting shut down by a Shadow Fiend that just got first blood.
Oof. Yeah, he hits 2 first, and I'm looking at the supports from both sides, and I'm thinking obviously a little bit later ahead when we're looking to maybe come over contest water runes or the first power rune. These are good supports to do it with for the side of Yakutou. Disruptor maybe not as much, but just having that extra stun and maybe that Hex here for Lion is more than enough to secure, I would say, Emo the rune, but also potentially to get Emo a kill at that mark where, like, Sumail's not 6 quite yet, but, you know, is in that spot where maybe he just ends up dead. And taking a look there as Ali has to walk it back, as he is not having a good time being hounded by a bunch of wolves. Some people's dreams are to just have a room full of dogs. It's not supports when there's a Lycan in the game.
I think if it was his own wolves, he'd be down for that. It's enemy wolves that aren't so fun, just running at him. You really can't do too much. The first few levels of wolves aren't too bad. You, like, farm those. Once you get level 7 on Lycan, those wolves are terrible. Alpha wolves, oh man, I'm glad those days are gone. That was even worse.
Oof. I shiver as a support player. Want a room
Imagine being a level 10
Sumail.
support just being killed by a wolf. Just out there. Yeah, we see. I like this from. I like this from Sumail. He's already started creep dragging in the mid lane. Knows he doesn't want to do an honest, you know, like, oh, let's, you know, go for clean timings on the last hits. You know, let's compete that way. No way. This guy's got, you know, extra damage over me. I'm not playing that game.
Sentry by Emo gives him a bit more gold as it finds that OBS that was on the high ground. That's pretty nice, and a couple of raises land. Bottom lane, GH here with Ghost, and, you know, Phoenix definitely a hero that can make you suffer, but let's steal that Lotus, as they did not want to fight the 1v1 with the Fire Spirits being thrown onto Bobica. Bobica does play, especially if he has a good lane, a very greedy style of 4. And sometimes an itemization that you might question, but I feel like Lion is one of those heroes that you're kind of stuck in the standard. There's not much you can get that I'm thinking that really deviates you too much.
I mean, unless you go fist
Straight
to death, and then but he didn't this game. It's a Essence Eater, boring, boo. But I think it makes sense. It's a good game for it, especially the Storm Spirit, right? He zips in. Any mana you can remove from him is useful. Might as well do a little damage in that time as well. I say he hasn't gotten a point in it yet, which is fine because he's only level 2. But sometimes if Lions really want to mess with you in your mana department, they'll get extra points in mana drain early rather than some of their other spells. So we'll see if he wants to do that. But as you were saying, it doesn't let you play as greedy as maxing your stun first.
Yeah, I've now we're seeing Lion hit level 3. I've seen some different variations where it's mana drain maxed out, but against honestly Phoenix DK, it's not like the most important thing. Having that extra bit of lockdown might lead you to get a kill on the Phoenix if you can get that Earth Spike and then land a Starbreaker behind it. Especially you go from that level 1 to 2, it is another extra 65 damage on the Earth Spike there too. Top lane looks like it's just been pretty quiet. I mean, honestly, the game's been quiet since the first blood at the Horn. Like, this has not been much aggression, but I don't really see lanes in which that we're going to see too much unless it is bottom. Like, if there's one lane that I think it's going to happen in, it's bottom.
Yeah, which I think this, slow, even game is good for Yakutou supports. But I will say, I was worried about Sumail in that mid lane dealing with the first blood Shadow Fiend, but I like what he's done. He was doing the creep dragging. He just shoves out the lane and then comes over here to jungle. So, I mean, if we look at the net worth, yeah, Shadow Fiend's a little bit ahead, but a lot of that is the first blood gold, which means through his efficient farming, he's kept up, and it looks like he should be getting a Lion kill here with the help of his
GH
supports.
is here too.
Thinking about maybe save
but
him?
it's just too late.
Yeah, Storm Spirit's doing perfectly fine.
Ooh, and the D ward too. So even what you came over here for, to place this ward, to have this vision on the Storm Spirit's gone. I mean, obviously that's why he's there, but like, it does feel pretty bad.
Yeah, it's a good read on what should happen, but it's actually just slightly late and maybe a little unlucky with the supports coming in, or arguably a good read from Nigma. Hold that thought. Omar sticking around a little too long, gets killed.
But when you trouble though, Sumail went top. He's gonna get this kill onto the Sven. They know that both supports went over there towards mid, and they're vulnerable in the side lanes. That's a good pick off by Sumail. I'm really impressed by the audible called. Like you said, like to just go back into the jungle too. He had 6 before Emo did, and now he's using that earlier timing to get a kill and seeing the moves over mid to get not only a kill, but getting a kill on the opponent carry.
Well, they still want to punish him a bit.
They want to go for this. They want to try and steal this out. Not easy. Emo doesn't have a lot of mana.
It looks like they're debating, like, do we really want to do this? I'm not so
take the
sure.
wave, we'll leave.
So they're going to back out. But you do force a bit of rotations. Everyone had to back out to make sure they secured the Wisdom Shrine. Dawnbreaker gets their own on the other side. So you don't steal it, but, you don't really lose anything for that play either.
Turns into an early lead for the side of Nigma Galaxy, which is, not too bad if you're the side of Yakutou. And Fly getting a bit of a solo lane so far. These supports have sat over mid, and they are looking to maybe just stick around for this 8-minute power rune to try and give Emo a bit more over in this mid lane and maybe get a kill or something like that. But we've talked about how you kind of need these level 6s and these supports, and with them sitting mid and splitting this experience and not really doing much or not really being in a lane, both these supports are level 4. GH about to hit that level 6 marker, and it was the Dawn that took the shrine over in the dire side of the map, and that leaves them, getting Dawn half of that shrine and one support getting the extra experience. And even with them here, they don't control the power rune. It goes to Sumail. He gets an arcane rune. You need to be careful now if you're the side of Yakutou.
Yeah, these supports on the side of Nigma are a lot stronger pre-level 6, right? Like, no one wants to fight into a Phoenix or a Bane. Not when you're like a Disruptor and a Lion that really just don't have a lot of damage. So you can bring the heroes, but you can't actually face off against the supports on the other side. And while we've been so caught up in the mid lane, the action happening here, I gotta say Sven's off to a bit of a slow start, and actually so is the Dawnbreaker. The side lanes struggling a bit here with heroes that are usually quite stable. I suppose their supports have left them for quite a while. So maybe that adds up to some of the difference, but I would have thought they'd be able to stay in lane, you know, versus the Dragon Knight and the Lycan, like everyone just farms. So I am a bit surprised to see such a gold diff already.
Yeah, Bobica is going to get caught here. There's really not much of a place for him to go with Noob right behind him. And it forces Sven to go back further into the jungle where he pops his God Strength and is just trying to farm. I'm more surprised, I would say, that Beyond doesn't really have the farm. A 1v1 versus DK shouldn't be awful, right? Am I just not seeing where that ends up being that bad?
I mean, you certainly can't kill him like you might other carries, but yeah, I would have thought you should at least be similar farm. Granted, Dragon Knight has some good damage, so you'd have to fight for the CS, but you know, this 1,500 gold difference is a bit more than I think should have happened.
Sven kind of behind, and I'm a little worried about timings being missed where Fly's map's just going to shrink too much.
With that said, Yakutou's emphasis has clearly been on Emo Shadow Fiend, right?
Yes.
They have been helping him out, rotating around, trying to slow down the Storm Spirit. And in that sense, it's been successful. Like, he is at the top of the net worth. They did slow down the Storm. I wonder how much you can do now with that, though, because going back to the 6 timings on supports, right? They're not quite there yet. So here's a support Phoenix currently just walking away. They do manage to get the... Oh, okay. So Phoenix has their level 6. Actually just uses the egg to not give up a kill, and they don't want to set up on it, so off he goes. I guess you get the egg cooldown, but that is a smoke with 3 heroes that don't really get anything.
And the thing about that too is, like, yeah, that cooldown's kind of long for level 1 on Supernova. It's 2 minutes, but those 2 minutes are probably going to be spent on both these supports for Yakutou getting their level 6s. And they're actually using that Sunray to try and go and get a kill here onto Emo. The Solar Guardian will keep him alive. He'll look for the Requiem. He does get it off, and maybe they get a kill here onto the Bane, and they do. But the glimpse back onto Sumail. They don't have the damage for Morsh. Still shapeshifted is Noob. But that's a good save to keep Emo alive, especially like you said, they're keeping emphasis on Emo mid. And they need to keep that advantage that they have with SF at least alive.
They had everything going to help him out. Fortunately, the Dawnbreaker has her level 6, so she was able to come in. And then Emo has raindrops. He's got that Sister Shroud. So all the extra survivability to keep him alive there long enough for the rest of his team to show up. You get a return kill on the Bane. That's not the worst, but using that many ultimates and bringing that many heroes and not getting the Shadow Fiend, and in fact, he's just straight back to farming stacks that are prepared for him. That is the part that, you know, you're a little sad about on Nigma.
Mambo.
A stun here as it's another power rune for the side of Nigma Galaxy. Thinking about picking up the haste rune, but holds it for Sumail to bottle up. So he's, I think, gotten every power rune.
I think there was an illusion rune for Shadow Fiend. That's part of what helped him survive that last one, too.
So he got the worst rune, but a good rune when he survives. But having haste,
that's how the illusion rune feels, right?
Yeah.
It either sucks or you're like, oh, this is so good.
Meanwhile, every other rune feels so strong.
All the time, yeah.
Especially with the changes to regen rune. Ever since those happened,
ridiculous.
It's like,
they gotta nerf that one further.
Yeah, take that out of here. Make it the OG. Just get regen rune to... You get hit, it's over. Don't mess around.
I'm all for it.
Some of the Overlords soon for Noob. He's happy with his farm. He's only 500 gold behind the Shadow Fiend. But Sven's catching up.
Yeah, he's quietly farming away. I mean, it is the nice thing about Sven, right? You have the natural cleave. You get that Mask of Madness, Echo Saber. So your farming speed in the jungle is all pretty good. And looks like he's got a stack of Ancients for him with this God Strength. Gold. But I will say, the fact that a Sven is behind a Dragon Knight at the start of the game, is pretty good for Dragon Knight, who is not nearly as fast of a farmer with the, you know, he doesn't have that free cleave anymore.
Fly. I think he's got all the gold there ready to go. Does he want to fight with this? You have no god strength. You're probably gonna have to wait for the next timing on that to maybe want to go, and I guess hopefully by then you've got yourself that blink dagger, but that's not going to happen in 60 seconds. So do you wait for the god strength? Do you wait for just the blink dagger? I guess that's also what comes your way, as this is an earth spike and a finger. Maybe the kill, but he's so quick. Even when he's stuck in an animation, he gallops so far away, and there is a pause coming through from Nigma Galaxy. They got some packet loss. What is
I was just
loss?
about to say before that gank started, it's 14 minutes in. We haven't seen Static Storm and Finger yet, and that was kind of our worry a little bit, that they had a slow 6, slow tempo. Finally comes out, and because it took so long, right? He has a lot of gold. He's got a lot of levels. He's a pretty tanky hero on this Lycan. So he gets away scot-free. In fact, I feel like he almost kills the lion with his summons. In fact, he's still not safe. There's a Helm Dom hunting down this lion. Needs help from Shadow Fiend to help me out, big brother. He's bullying me. Save me.
God, keep me alive? No, that ain't happening. Ghost getting the kill there. Puts them up 2,000 net worth. That first finger, you don't get a kill. Ags is off the table.
That's your benchmark. You get a kill with the first ult, I get Ags. No kill, no Ags.
No, it's not that, you know, it just keeps the dream of maybe wanting it later down the line alive.
I see.
You know, the stacks maybe mean something.
I actually still would find it funny if he eventually gets one. Nigma's been playing a lot of long series, so perhaps this game in the series will drag on and he'll have the time to go back for it.
Got this catch on Omar.
Glimpse.
Yeah, throws down that ward, grabs that vision, gets the glimpse onto Omar. It's not the quickest kill. Oh God, if he had somehow found a way to get himself denied by skeletons, more power to him.
Fortunately, the skeletons on their own aren't too strong. They buff up others, but relatively weak on their own.
Thank God for the two of them, because that was a long kill for just the Bane. Only took a little while for him. Another shapeshift, because they've got this wolf, and it does see Bobica, and look at the damage on a Bobica immediately, but the Requiem comes in, the race is on to Sumail, and this is Bobica dead, but a Static Storm. Oh, Sumail just walks out of it, the kinetic field not up in time. Sumail will survive this all, and Beyond now needs to run. They're looking to get this kill on the Emo, but a Starbreaker from Beyond stops Noob, and that will let Emo survive, but Beyond is going to die.
The kinetic field did not keep the Storm in the static. Otherwise, I think you at least get a kill onto the Storm Spirit, which is pretty good. But instead, you end up running away on this. Your most farmed hero, Shadow Fiend, or was. Sven just passed him since he didn't join the fight. He's been quietly farming. Trying to get to the Blink Dagger before he joins in, which, you know, I get it. If you're just trying to run in this fight, you're chasing a Lycan, chasing a Storm Spirit, you're going to get Fiend's Gripped, right? You're just going to be controlled in these fights, so you did need this Blink Dagger. But that means Nigma had free reign in that last fight. Smoke up, though. Blink reveal. You got to find something. It's been a very slow game for them so far.
Can they do this?
I think Bane caught sight of that.
Yeah. This seems super difficult to try and jump into. Smoked by Nigma Galaxy. But these heroes aren't committing yet. There's still 40 seconds till Dawnbreaker has an ult. And they'll go for Fly. They've got the lockdown, and they've got the kill. They make that look easy. Fly never even has a chance to go into the God Strength. Both these supports are looking pretty fragile, but Ollie able to get at least behind the tower. But Sumail's right there with him, and he gets a triple kill.
Well, that is some much-needed recovery for the Storm Spirit. He's been the focus of the Dire. They've been trying to bully him. They've been trying to shut him down, but what can you do? Amplify damage into a triple kill. He is back to where he needs to be, and they're going to get a tier 2 off of this now for free, and then just head straight back to Roche. You tried to stop us. All you did is give us free kills. Now we're still going to get Roche.
Yeah, why not, right? Honestly, the Sven in this game is giving me similar vibes to the Sven Nigma had in their last game. There's Omar. Requiem does go off. That Fiend's Grip's not going to do enough, and that glimpse is going to pull back a dead body as Emo finishes off Omar.
If
not a bad kill to
gets
get.
that off, they might actually be able to find a fight there, because the tier 1 is still up, so the other heroes rotated in, but Fiend's Grip just a second too late.
Ooh, he is in the river trying to find something. Stormhammer with the glimpse into the static storm. They have found themselves ghosts. This would be a big kill to get. They go to the finger, they get the kill, and they'll take out the DK. That's a second one. Is there anything more on the menu, or was that the final course? It's looking like dessert might be GH and Will. A 3-course meal here for Yakutou.
Now you should get the tier 1 tower finally. A little late, but better late than never. And then maybe you push farm a bit, go straight over to Tormentor, but you won't have your ultimates besides the Dawnbreaker. So I actually don't know if you could fight it. I think as they respawn, Nigma is going to be saying, like, that's ours for free, head straight over there.
Which is what I thought they were going to do prior.
Yeah, I guess they had a little bit of time, right? They were trying to play fast. They made that play top. You send the Bane bottom. Bane is one of the best heroes at going on its own, because between Nightmare and Fiend's Grip, it is so much time. You can find someone, start locking them down. Your team can finish what they're doing, you know, take a little break, start the TP in, walk over, and you're still being Fiend's Gripped in that time. So they sent Omar down there. That's why they ended up moving down there, but didn't quite pan out the way they were hoping.
It's like 12 seconds of blocking. And actually, it might be Nigma who end up getting themselves this Tormentor while they lose GH. It's Noob taking it alone and getting a shard here for the Bane, who can start picking up farm duty now with this Brain Sap upgrade. It's always nice to have.
Yeah, the build right now is Aether Lens straight into the Aghanims, because it makes it a lot easier to use the Fiend's Grip, but also really brings down the cooldown to less than a minute, or a little more than a minute. A little bit more than a minute, and it's a BKB piercing ult. Very good versus a Sven. So, yeah, a bit more farming speed with that shard. Feeling good going into this, the longer it drags out, which has it's been a lot of their games.
Yeah, a lot of their games have kind of gone long. They've followed this back and forth cycle. Ups and downs and ups. It's quite tough to have a good cardiogram when you're a Nigma fan. As you continue to watch the spike rates.
That's why people like the team, right?
Yeah.
The ups and the downs.
yeah, sure.
All right, Blink Dagger on the Lion. Last time they had the Blink on Sven, it led to them being triple killed. Hopefully this Blink reveal goes a bit better for them.
And that is Bobica's first item. That Blink Dagger coming in. Ooh, boy.
I mean, he does need it. We identified in the draft, right? He wanted to be the initiator, but he needs a good start. This is what happens when you don't have a good start on the Lion, and why it's usually a little safer for cores to be your initiator. This is a 21 minute Blink.
Smoked up. Nigma looking for their opportunity to go on a fly with the instant Hex from Bobica, as well as the Finger and the Earth Spike. Ollie's gonna run. The kinetic field is down. They've used the Fiend's Grip onto Beyond, who came in with the Solar Guardian. They get the kill on Ollie. They'll take out Beyond. 2 heroes dead. Fly never popped that God Strength, but it doesn't look as though he really could have done anything with it. But the quick 1, 2, 3 ability usage there from Bobica onto the DK that really didn't even feel it was kind of interesting.
I think he gained health while it was happening.
600 damage, not enough to, you know, get Ghost's attention. Although another blink in and another Dragon Tail. Requiem flies through. God Strength used. Firefly trying to get the damage off of the Nightmare. Now the Supernova, they get the kill on Bobica, and now they got to run on the side of Yakutou. They're going to try and get out of here. Ali looking to step forward, sacrifice his life, throws down the Static Storm. They also get Roche at the same time. Ali running away, but there is a ball lightning right behind him, and Ali will die here to Omar and that Brain Sap.
Every time they try to... Oh, guys. They're leaving it for... They know they chased everyone out of here. Give it to
It's not the banner.
Oh, yeah. No one cares about that. Just leave that at the pit. No, I mean, they keep trying to contest Roche on Yakutou Bros, but Nigma is ready every time. They're getting extra kills. I feel like they were baiting Roche for the last 5 minutes, getting, 6 kills, something like that off of this.
Looking to just bait them in, gain that net worth lead, 9,000 net worth lead now, and
one more for the road.
Yeah, this could be an issue.
2 more for the road.
Oh boy. Sumail, you're with Noob. Beyond should be pretty dead, and they get him and Fly. I mean, that is another double kill here for Sumail. He is 8-0-3.
Should be able to get this tier 2 mid pretty easily, and then that's the last outer tower, so you still have some time to chip the high ground a little bit. I don't know if you want to fully commit to it, because you have a lot of time on this Aegis left. I think you could siege a little bit with the remaining dragon form time if you want, and then as they respawn, just back off, wait for another pickoff. They've been very successful at that. They have good vision. You have these invisible wolves to help you find targets as well, right? Just get another pickoff, and then go off of that, which seems to be the plan. They are backing off a little bit here.
They back off, but it is putting pressure on all 3 lanes, right? Ghost is, well, not really pushing the lane at the moment. He was thinking about pushing it a second ago. You've got mid pushing in. Top was pushing in. Noob's kind of backed off of that. He's going to farm up a Blink Dagger. Also looking for a BKB. So they're just, yeah, like you said, reset the timings, get us back in there.
We're trying to set up some deep wards to help them see when Yakutou Bros were leaving their base. But they know the game plan, so they're putting down sentries, trying to remove those deep wards as they farm as a group. This is kind of what you need to do when you're in this situation. You can't afford to be picked off.
GH is close, but they just do not see him or Ghost. Circle comes through from Ghost, kind of giving an idea of where they might be. And they are kind of set here on Nigma Galaxy. Not hard for them to kind of join the fight with the 2 heroes that are out of the group, with both the Storm as well as the Lycan. Lycan shapeshifts, runs in, but the ball lightning in from Sumail could secure a catch. They don't go for anything, and they will back up on the side of Yakutou, as they will go all the way up into the high ground and still continue to try and defend. But as we've learned in the past, as we've learned at times, no lead is safe for Nigma Galaxy, it feels like. But I really like where they're at in this game. I'm not gonna put that on them. I think they are in a very secure position at the moment. Not trying to jinx anything.
That's the hype of it, man. If I told you, if you could see the future, it just wouldn't be the same to know, like, oh, this team's gonna win, you know? Like, do you go back and watch old games you already know the results of? Rarely. That's the exciting thing. Like, is Nigma gonna win this? Is there gonna be a throw? That's the hype. That's the fun. That's the excitement. Right now, they're just trying to play off their vision, which, props to the Dire. They have been doing a good job removing things, placing their own vision, trying to play around this, but the hunt continues. Heading top. They may find Emo as he clears out this way. Oh, fast blink out.
Gosh. That could have been brutal. Sven had just taken the Twin Gate bottom. This is now, what, a minute? Yeah, a minute left on this Aegis. Lincoln's soon to be completed here on Storm Spirit. Not much targetable that'll make his life difficult. They are TPing down bottom. Omar is here, ready to go for Fly, but another quick blink and another escape. Gosh, it doesn't get tighter than that. That was close. That was potentially rough, but they now have found themselves a kill here on the Emo, and this is what happens every time. It's never just one, because Beyond is trying his hardest to save somebody, and it ends up being him as well. He is 2-4-4. He hasn't died a lot, but the last few deaths we've seen from him is him reacting just a second too late to try and save these heroes and then throwing himself into a death.
This got melted, man. Lycan's got the AC, you've got the corrosive dragon form going. This is what they've been waiting for, right? As soon as you get
there
one,
by Fly. He's trying. Oh my God!
Also 3-shot.
Yeah, I don't know. That might have been 2. But Fly trying to stand his ground. He's got himself a static storm. They go to the ear spike. They've got themselves the finger. They get the kill and it goes. But now Fly melting to the Sunray, and the help from Sumail. Down goes Bobica. Full team wipe, and that was a buyback from the Lion too. They could take these buildings real quick, even without the DK.
And this is why Nigma was so patient with that Aegis. Even though you could probably siege with the creeps and with the dragon form, they know if we just find one good pickoff outside of the base, then we'll destroy it in, I think that was 5 seconds to finish a tier 3 tower. So they knew it was that easy. They find a pickoff at the very end. Now they're in a good spot. They're trying to stagger some death timers here. That's another kill onto Shadow Fiend. And maybe even Beyond.
Good on him, honestly. Beyond, Sunray, burning,
oh my
nowhere
goodness, the
to
damage.
go. Supernova with the Sunray. 2 sets of racks are taken, and Yakutou still holding on to the 2 letters that hold them from their ancient being destroyed early.
Might not have to hold them very much longer. This is the last barracks going down. There's no real reason to back out. This has been going on so long. You know, the shapeshift is back up. Dragon Knight, who died earlier, is about to respawn and TP to the outpost. Join another fight here. I guess you get one more defense on the side of Yakutou.
It ain't gonna be easy. I'm wondering if they wait for Roche. The timer is relatively close.
Baited by a creep?
Well, yeah, Fly's out here to get 250 gold. Meanwhile, Ali's dead inside the base. They pop the BKB. They look for the damage on a noob, but they don't have it. Fly getting chased, but now Earth Spike Finger Noob's dead. That's something, but the BKB pop by Sumail looking over at Fly. Still the damage, not enough. Bobica, Fly, and Ali die. They'll call GG. Beyond will die a second time, and Nigma Galaxy will take game number 1.
It was very sneaky from Noob, hiding in the trees like that. Dude, you're just playing support.